Hi, W here, and today we have a new episode in the art process series. And today we'll be going over a recent art session I did last night. And the reason why I did these two specific ones is because I just felt tired from, or I felt exhausted, or I felt some kind of like spiritual art fatigue, if that's even a thing. I think if you're focusing too much on studying and learning, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I think if you're limiting yourself to just like, if your mindset is just improving, making progress, like that's your soul thing, I think that can be sort of draining in a way, because doing art is not just about training, improving yourself. I mean, it is part of it, and I think that's the issue. When you focus on something so much, I think we start to forget the other aspects of, in this case, art. And I think because of my recent focus on really trying to improve like my shape design, getting, just trying to get better at like human proportions, learning how to like illustrate stuff more efficiently. I mean, that's all good, but I think I wasn't, I just wasn't being as diverse as I should be. So I was essentially forgetting the part where, art was kind of, I was forgetting the fun part, because sometimes art can be about, again, improving our artistic skills, just getting better, because we all want to have like beautiful illustrations, beautiful artwork, right? So obviously we have to practice, we have to learn the right techniques to get there. So that's all good, but I think sometimes when you do art, it's not always about sometimes it's just about painting or drawing what you want to draw at the moment. It's not like there's no goal per se. Like there's no positive, like clear gain, clear positive, clear like objective. You just do it because it's fun. And for me, I just saw this post of apparently there's a new design of Deadpool's of an Xbox like controller, and it was the theme was Deadpool's butt basically, or his behind, because I think it's part of the marketing for the new film. I'm not sure, but I remember just seeing that on Twitter, and I was like, oh shit, it's pretty funny, and I just felt like drawing it or painting it, right? And the same thing. That's the first one I kind of painted out or studied or just sketched, right, or painted. And then the second one was I saw this chick. I believe she's a WNBA. Am I saying it right? Women's basketball here in the U.S. Her name's like Angelica or Angel Reese something. And there was a snapshot of her. Like it's a very quick snapshot of her, like her behind. Like she first of all, she's tall as fuck, right? Obviously basketball player, right? But her like behind was like, oh shit. I mean, not to be misogynoir-ish or fetishistic, but I was like, it was a cool. It was a beautiful expression of shape design. And fuck it, I just felt like drawing her for some reason, or and painting that specific scene. So I decided to just paint it. And I think sometimes we just have to do that, where we just paint because we do it because we want to. Where there's no like, oh shit, I have to improve my, like, if I paint this specific thing, I'm going to improve my colors, or I'm going to, like, if I paint this say scene, I'm going to improve my my composition. Like there's always like an end goal. There's always like a hidden, not hidden, but a like an objective. And sometimes it's not bad to have that, but I just think sometimes you just want to paint for fun, and you have to do it for fun, right? This isn't to say that studying something or trying to improve cannot be fun. I just think if that's the only thing you do, for example, the most common one is obviously human anatomy studies, like figure drawing, portrait studies. Like if you keep doing just that, I think that can be a trap where you sort of develop this like not negative association, but it's more of a study. Like you just associate art with studies. If that's all you do, then obviously the only thing you'll remember about pursuing art is just studies. And I don't think that's the best kind of approach. I think it's good to have a more wide experience, a wide spectrum of I think it's good to develop or associate a wide spectrum of emotions when it comes to art. So sometimes you do it to improve, to sort of reach that artistic level of dominance, right? Lobster hierarchy. Um, but also sometimes it's just for fun, where you just paint something because it feels good and you just felt like it. And I think it's more of a in the moment kind of activity, and that's what I was missing, I guess. And I think this is going to help me in my studies even more, because now I know, now I have like a solid base or a solid like emotional attachment to art. So whether if the moment I start, let's say if I do less studies and I do more fun stuff, eventually I'm going to want to improve, right? So I will naturally gravitate more towards doing more studies. And when I do more studies to the point where I'm not doing anything like fun, or I'm not even pursuing my own projects, right? Then I can sort of balance the studies out with doing my own projects, or just doing some random doodles, doing some fan art and stuff like that. So I think if you have this wide range when it comes to approaching art, the more you're likely to stick with it. Because for the past in the past videos, I've been talking about like, or in one of my recent videos, I talked about not limiting yourself to just one technique, in having that diversity in terms of how you approach your painting or drawing or illustration. But I think in a general sense, in a higher sense, you can apply this, say, to your subjects as well. Again, if you're just doing like studies all day, like figure drawing, character art, proportion, stuff like that. I mean, that's good work, but I think you need to balance that out with something. Like once in a while, just slip in some some fucking like footsies here there. Now, first of all, you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with what you personally find fun. Something that's not too serious, something that's not like scholarly or academic or heavy. Preferably something that's not related to the fundamentals. Like perspective, composition, color theory, stuff like that. Put that aside and just pick a subject that's sort of fun. You can just go on Twitter or on X or on YouTube. Maybe draw some memes, draw some cats, draw some fetish art, some fan art, some not safe for work art. Or maybe try a different project that's fun. For example, in this in the last this session that you can see me do now, I remember trying to start the Deadpool butt controller thingy with a layering technique where I paint each shape and I use clipping layers to kind of paint within the shape below it. And because I've seen other artists do that, and I was like for the first 2 minutes, I decided, what, fuck this. I'll just paint on one layer, because it was starting to feel like fucking work when I did that. And I was like, what, I just want to have fucking, I want to relax and have fun and just draw this fucking or paint this fucking thing without having to constantly think about, oh shit, like the following like a right process. So you want to take away all of the non-essential stuff and just fucking let go and just paint something. It doesn't have to be like super, it doesn't have to be a portfolio piece, it doesn't have to be anything. You don't even have to share. You just paint something fun to kind of loosen up and just be there in the moment and just paint. And I think if you incorporate this along with your other studious work, along with your personal projects, I think you're more likely to stick with it. And I think if you just focus on one thing or one kind, let's say you're just doing projects, you're just doing fun stuff, or you're just doing studies and shit, I think it's faster for you to burn out. And I think that's a bad thing, because obviously you don't want that negative association when it comes to art, So I think it's good to diversify how you approach art. Not just in terms of technique, but in terms of, the subjects that you do. The kind of art that you do. Shit. That was a lot. I did enjoy the session. It took about 2 hours, although I did spend the first hour, like the first 20 minutes of the first hour, just figuring out my shortcuts, adjusting things in my Clip Studio Paint sort of interface. The second sketch with the lady with the lady, that start it was a 1 hour sketch in total. So but yeah, so it didn't take too long, and that's what's cool. You don't have to take too long when you do these sort of things. 30 minutes to an hour is a good amount of time. Do what? Just let go, do something fun, and yeah. So think about this, consider this if you're feeling burnt out, or if you're just feeling tired from, like, if you're starting to feel that sense of fatigue, like, ugh, like that feeling, ugh, oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, you know, deep down, like, this is a passion, a pursuit that you want to pursue. Sometimes you will have days where you're just fucking like, oh, like, what's the point of this? Like, what the fuck? Like, what am I even doing? Like, oh my God. Like that whining and complaining, it's fine. Chances are you just need to not step back from art. I don't think that's the solution, or that's the first solution. I think the first or the best solution is to do a different kind of art. Do something fun, do something easy, and do something you just enjoy, and do something that doesn't have, or that doesn't necessarily have a big meaning. If you want to draw some feet, draw some chicks, you know, draw some like Deadpool butts, then just fucking go, okay? So take it easy and keep going. So that's it for this art process video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.